Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 4 of VOR versus FPM, the all SEA final, where VOR are fighting to stay in. This is effectively a tournament point for FPM if they win. So let's see what VOR has in their lineup. In green here, we have Ohio, Kremlin, double Moskva, triple Nevsky, Marceau, and Shimakaze. Down at the FPM end.
From the South Spawn, FPM looking very much like fourth verse, same as the rest of them. We see Ohio, Kremlin, Des Moines, Venezia, Stalingrad, and sticking with triple Marceau and Daring. Now, I want to point out something. We've now seen Noob CV drive a battleship in every single game of this match. His first outing was as a Kurfürst back on Land of Fire. Didn't go that well. We talked about that at the time. He's driven a Conqueror for 2 games, and now here we see him in an Ohio.
Yeah, I think, as you said, right at the start, at this level, it's not just, oh, well, let's take a GK, because that's fun. There definitely is some thought behind these choices, and on this map, Ohio has the ability to do reasonably good long-range shots cross-map, and then also push if necessary. So I'm sure that's what the plan is for this Ohio. Sitting mid, you can get cross-shots across to above B, and you can also push A if necessary.
Now, what was it you said to me in the training room before we were kind of getting ready? You looked at the map and went, "Oh my!"
Yeah. So these teams have been playing pretty aggressively, and okay, so they haven't both gone with the triple Marceau comp this time. We've got the triple Nevsky instead, which is quite different. So that's still very mobile. It still puts down a lot of HE DPM. They are sticking the Nevskys together. So it's a similar thing. It's a similar concept. It's just in a different form. You've got 3 cruisers pushing around instead of 3 destroyers. But it makes the map very dynamic. These are pretty aggressive teams. And this map, especially with this channel in between B and C, does make this map prone to, let's say, sudden action as ships push into interesting positions. So yeah, there's some potential here for some pretty interesting plays.
That is one way to describe it. But on the strength of their destroyer advantage, you see here FPM going up very early on caps, bagging A and B as at last VOR responds by grabbing C. So here we are, just a few minutes into this game, 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes in, all the caps owned. As the last time we saw FPM set up a weak flank with a Venezia and a Kremlin, to kind of, bend but not break, kite a little bit on that left flank over on CZA. And now here we are, we're seeing VOR do basically something similar with Naomi's Ohio and YBB's Moskva north of A.
Yeah, and so that means that VOR must be planning to try and take B and C because they've got no ships that can take A whatsoever. But B and C are, they're kind of both linked and separated at the same time. You can easily move between them if you've got good map control, because you've got that channel going between them. You can set up radars easily that cover more or less both caps. But also these islands actually block shots between the islands, between the caps. So you need to carefully position to make sure that you can hang on to them.
FPM sort of kind of rearranging their pieces here a bit. They're digging in Runus' Stalingrad at B, pushing Noob CV's Ohio up through the bottom into the A cap, flanked by Imonka's? Whatever. I'll get it wrong anyway. Yeah, there we go. His Venezia. The Marceaus had run all the way to the D line, but I think they were, like before, I think they were looking to see if there were any destroyers over here. They realized, no, that ain't a thing. So they have turned around and are moving back south.
And with FPM already controlling B, pretty much they're already in the position that they want to maintain for the rest of the match. They've already got two caps, and all they need to do is just defend those 2 caps. And so I'm kind of surprised, honestly, to not see these 2 Marceaus turning around and heading back towards the middle. But then, again, that would give VOR the ability to turn around and push down. So that does kind of make sense that they're keeping them there.
Yeah, we're absolutely going to see a rumble over B as Dark Temple's Kremlin turning into the channel already. We're not even 5 minutes into the game, and you can see what this is going to shaping up to be a real interesting time here in the middle of the board.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Konhana and Yihua over there on the 9 line. They've been pushed off. Shimakaze is trying to keep them spotted. Renegade's going to be keeping an eye on them, throwing torpedoes towards them because they're reasonably stationary. And you've only got to land a couple of Shima Torps to make a difference. And the first spread actually is widespread. Just basically, they're put them down range and just hope that they hit something. But also, we talked yesterday about the shepherding quality of these torpedoes. If these torpedoes arrive and you're sitting broadside to them and you get lucky with the first volley, you're going to think very, very carefully about your orientation because there's definitely going to be more coming.
That's putting it mildly. First radars of the game going up across the B cap. Runis is Stalingrad from the south, radaring, discovering whose Marceau was that? That was Classic Nouns Marceau on the edge of the cap there. They got some good damage into him. As Moskva counter radar, they put a little bit of chip damage into Kokonye's daring, but the goal there was just to push Noun off the cap as FPM is out to a 150-point lead already.
Well, the audience there, I nearly blinded everyone with Moskva's steel camo in the sunshine. Yeah, these press accounts, obviously the players can mount whatever they like. So, yep, Moskva sporting the steel camo there. Munan taking big damage over, trying to run down the 5 line away from the cap, under fire from both of the Nevskys and the Moskva. Shell still coming in down to 16k. Classic Noun has backed into the cap and is capping currently.
Dark Temple's Kremlin has taken a very aggressive position as well as he's working into the bottom end of the B cap. Dark Noun does flip B. I'm kind of curious to see what Khan Hanna does, because if Khan would to flip his guns around, he'd have a brilliant shot at Dark Temple's broadside. In fact, it looks like he's trying for that now.
And I suspect that's why the Shima is there, because if you can keep throwing torpedoes at Khan Hanna, who's going to want to turn in a certain direction with the ship to shoot Dark Temple, that means that opens up the possibility of landing those torpedoes more effectively. So, and if Khan Hanna chooses to be less risky with the torpedoes, then it means, you know, not quite as good shots on Dark Temple, maybe.
Kokonye, you can kind of see the wheels turning.
Yeah, exactly. Is this... are you stopping Kokonye, or are you going?
Can't tell what he's doing. He's not proxy spotted yet. They just put up a radar, so they wanted to know where the Marceau was. Kokonye goes out there. The Marceau absolutely can help cover him a bit. Now he's going to smoke and take some free damage on the Marceau while he can.
Yep, AP.
But he will not be able to get out there to put put torps into Dark Temple.
No, but there is the Marceau here as well, so Munan is around. So that may be an eventual plan. Try and get Munan to rush the Kremlin. But remember what we saw before. Marceau's torpedoes do not do that much damage, and that is currently a more or less full health Dark Temple. So
On hand is actually, they've lost sight. They've lost sight of Dark Temple's Kremlin. He hasn't fired in a bit, and they can't see him anymore. I guess he's not even proxied by the Stalingrad through the island, which is a little surprising, but he's not.
Also,
he's dark in that position.
Have you noticed that VOR have taken both their Nevskys all the way over to the top of A, considering they went to C initially, and have joined up with the Ohio and the Moskva, and are now pushing down on on Alpha, which is not something that I expected to see, and is maybe going to take FPM slightly off guard here, because they are not prepared to defend A very well.
9 minutes gone. FPM working on about a 60-point lead, but the gap is narrowing. VOR has stolen away B. FPM unable at the moment to get back into that cap. And so the gap continues to close.
The Kremlin and Des Moines of Khan Hanna and Yehua have been pushed all the way down to pretty much the J line here.
Roselia and Munan kind of starting to look like they might go around to remove Dark Temple.
Yeah,
one or both. Hard to say.
If one Marceau can't kill a Kremlin,
maybe two can.
Maybe two can.
Actually, I say that, but then, well, I was going to say, Roselia looked like he might be kind of just turning to pause and farm the Moskva for a bit, but now he's going in. The Conga line torps from the Daring are also going down range as well.
Yeah, I don't think any of those are going to connect. Possibly one of them, but Dark Temple's still reversing there. No, I think that's going to go straight past the nose. Yep, nope. They're all a bust.
Okay, Roselia holding short. It looks like maybe they're trying to get the timing down to try and pincer Dark Temple. Or maybe they're waiting for Classic now to reverse back behind the island.
Honestly, I think they were hoping that some of those torpedoes would land.
Dark Temple now moving forward again. Maybe that's it. Yep, there's the go. I think there's the go command.
Yeah, that was... They must have done the maths, and they're working out, okay, how much damage do we need to do, and what's the health on the Tremlin need to be in order to get it down.
Temple was waiting with the HE, but he doesn't get the torpedo disables he really needed.
Roselia running 3 fires there.
They're going to trade Roselia for Dark Temple.
Okay, gets one set of torps out. Muanan coming up behind. Classic Noun going up to intercept, and of course, Muanan right in front of Asmodeus in the Mosvar as well. Dark Temple charging forward to avoid the torps.
Probably going out here. He's going to miss all of his torps from that second set. And they get him just like that. VOR is up 2 ships.
That has pushed Dark Temple forwards, though, and the Kremlin is here, although that is quite a long shot for a Kremlin. 17k. Here comes the AP.
It doesn't feel like Con Hannah and the Des Moines down here in the bottom of the map have been all that effective this game.
Yeah, maybe a bit too cautious of that Shimakaze. But
they do
Dark
get some
Temple,
good damage into Temple.
Down to 6-5. Almost certainly ran a DCP during that attack, although Kremlin's DCP cooldown is quite fast. Ohio, in the background of Best Naomi, has pushed into A. So that is now 0 points income for Forced Runis with, for FPM, with 924 points on the points clock, make that 868 with the death of that battleship.
Con Hannah does bag Dark Temple. That buys a little bit of breathing room for FPM, but at the moment they're pushed off all the caps, pushed way back on the map. I mean, just look at the map.
Yep.
They don't have any ships farther forward. Their farthest forward ship is just the UF line, and that's Noob CV. I mean, they're not. It's not looking good for them.
This is a problem when the only way that you can possibly win is to get into all the caps to stop the enemy winning. If you're not even near the caps, you can't even do that.
It's not going to happen. I don't think they're going to be able to put Noob CV into A. That'll slow things down a bit, but they can't really push Runis into B. He'll just get burned out by the Nevskis, and they have no one close enough to get to C on time.
Yeah, and it's always that one cap that's still ticking that's going to be the thing that seals their fate, because no matter what happens, those points are still coming in, and the closer you get to 1,000, the closer they are to winning.
They're going to need to bag a kill if they want to extend the clock. Time is ticking.
Marceau is going to rush Best Naomi here.
It's not going to happen in time, I don't think. I don't think the Marceau's torps are going to hit hard enough. 7 seconds. By the time the torpedoes land, the game will be over.
That was a double fire. Torps, nope.
Doesn't matter.
Not going to happen.
It's going to come too late. VOR is going to level this series at 2 games apiece. And as we were hoping, Stats, we're going to get our wish. We're going to go to a winner-take-all Game 5 here in the International Finals of King of the C12.
Absolutely, it doesn't get much closer than this. So while these teams, obviously, they're going to want to go and have a bit of a leg stretch. You know, it's very early in the morning for some of these players. They're going to want to go and maybe just shake their heads a little bit and have a chat. So while they set up for this last final 2-2 game, we'll go back to the studio.